Top 10 World War I Research Topics. The reaction of the American citizens to the U.S. entry into World War I. This topic researches the response of American citizens to the United States entry into World War I. How did different segments of society react to the war? We offer to spotlight the factors influencing public opinion, such as propaganda and anti-war sentiment. What were the short-term or long-term consequences of the war? World War I and political world domination. Here, you should analyze the influence of World War I on the global political landscape. Try to highlight how the war reshaped power dynamics and contributed to the decline of major empires. In what ways did the Treaty of Versailles and the post-war settlements shape the future of international relations? The United States involvement into World War I. This essay investigates the aspects that influenced the United States' decision to enter World War I. Why did the United States initially adopt a policy of neutrality? What events eventually pushed the nation toward intervention? We encourage you to reveal the consequences of America's entry into the war. The League of Nations activity after World War I. This paper researches the role and activity of the League of Nations, the precursor to the United Nations, in the aftermath of World War I. You might spotlight its aims and limitations. Try to answer about what factors led to its eventual outbreak. How did the League of Nations address collective security? Modernization in post-World War I Turkey and Iran. Another interesting idea digs into the modernization efforts undertaken in Turkey and Iran following World War I. Thus, you can focus on political and cultural transformations. How did these changes impact their respective societies and contribute to the formation of modern nation-states? What were the fundamental reforms adopted by Turkey and Iran leaders? World War I, Nationalism, Imperialism, Militarism. How did nationalism contribute to the outbreak of war? In what ways did imperial ambitions and arms races exacerbate the armed conflict? What were the ramifications of these ideologies during and after the war? Try to research the interconnectedness of nationalism, imperialism, and militarism as underlying grounds of World War I. The history of reasons for World War I outbreak in the United States in World War I. Provide an overview of the complex historical factors that led to the outbreak of World War I. After that, analyze the role of alliances, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, and underlying geopolitical pressure. How did America's engagement impact the war's outcome? Try to answer what shaped the nation's role in the international arena. History of aviation in World War I and World War II. You may trace the significance of aviation during both World War I and World War II, examining aircraft's technological advancements and societal impact. What were the crucial innovations in aviation during these wars? Also, you may find out how aviation shaped the post-war world and paved the way for modern air travel. Analyzing propaganda during World War I. How did propaganda impact public perception, recruitment efforts, and support for the war? We suggest analyzing propaganda during warfare and exploring how governments and media employed various techniques to set up public opinion. Try to reflect on the lessons that can be drawn from the advocacy campaigns of World War I. World War I and territorial changes in Europe. We propose investigating the territorial changes in Europe due to World War I. Therefore, analyzing the redrawing of borders, the dissolution of empires, and the emergence of new nations. Likewise, you may research major territorial adjustments that follow the war. What were the long-term consequences of the territorial realignments in the region? Find more research topics on studycorgi.com.